So representatives for Dillon Gabriel reached out to me to try to give me a cease and desist order. I was willing and ready and rock and roll, ready to go to court. So I triple dare your representatives to take me to court. In fact, Dillon Gabriel, I want you, bitch boy, take me to court. Let's fast forward.
Dillon Gabriel showed up thinking he was drawing up a game plan, not watching his whole narrative flip sideways. This wasn't just football anymore. This was pressure, pride, and perception crashing together in real time. 1 minute, it's practice reps. The next minute, the tension feels like a courtroom drama without the judge.
I can't imagine there's many people that think Dillon Gabriel's a better quarterback than Shedeur Sanders. I don't care where they were drafted. And if the Browns are the one team that thinks that, then I'm going to suspect it's not true. They don't know what they're doing.
They've been on every quarterback evaluation for 30 years.
Right.
I never root against anybody.
Yeah.
But I'd be surprised if Dillon Gabriel's ever a legitimate starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. I'd be surprised. I just don't think.
Well, then it is a wasted pick because you took him in the top 100.
Yeah, but potentially may get away with it because of Shedeur.
People started asking the wild question out loud. Did Shedeur really light it up that bad? Or did Dillon just struggle with being outshined under the spotlight? If you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It helps way more than you think. And trust me, this story only gets louder from here. Dillon Gabriel came into camp locked in. Helmet polished, cleats tight, confidence high. He looked ready to lead, ready to prove he was the steady hand in the room. Then Shedeur walked in and flipped the temperature instantly.
Browns drafted 2 quarterbacks. They wanted us to pay attention. We got a reason to pay attention.
Yeah.
A lot of people believe that Shedeur Sanders could be that guy. He's a polarizing guy off the football field. He does all the right things as far as being in the community and being present, especially with the youth. And if it all comes together on a football field, then man, that would be one hell of a story to have him be the franchise quarterback of this team.
Calm, smooth, controlled, like he already knew the script and everyone else was just catching up. No panic, no rush, just pure command from the jump. And it didn't take long before the difference was obvious. Dillon wasn't just being outplayed, he was being outpaced in energy, presence, and momentum. 2 quarterbacks, 1 spotlight, and suddenly everybody knew exactly where their eyes were supposed to be.
It's going to be tough on Dillon Gabriel. He's in a tough spot. The public social media favors Shedeur Sanders. He's going to have to fight the battle of public opinion where most people are going to be on Shedeur's side. Here's Shedeur and the cultural young icon he is. Here we are taking a picture as the rookies. The first pose they come up with is Shedeur's pose. Let me show you my rollie and put the wrist up. And how do you think Dillon Gabriel feels about that? He's like, wait, what are you guys doing? They're like, we're doing the Shedeur. So he's really got an uphill battle. So not only does Shedeur have the proverbial chip on his shoulder, and now Dillon Gabriel's got to deal with, wait, I was the guy that was drafted before Shedeur, and they're going to talk about Shedeur a whole lot.
That QB room turned into must-watch content overnight. A lot of people already believe Shedeur could be that guy. Polarizing off the field, sure, but locked in where it matters. He shows up for the community, stays visible, connects with younger players, and when it clicks on the field, it really clicks. That combination is powerful, and the buzz around him only grew louder with every rep. Meanwhile, Dillon was grinding through a tough reality. New system, heavy expectations, and a fan base watching every throw through social media clips. That's the hard part for Dillon Gabriel right now.
Both the Browns' rookie quarterbacks are being positioned, in their opinion, to start games this upcoming season, but how each quarterback is on a completely different developmental path for the summer here. So they said Shedeur Sanders is the one being, quote, carefully nurtured in a controlled environment, and Dillon Gabriel is being, quote, thrown directly into the fire against the team's best defenders. So that's where we transition over to this article that says why Dillon Gabriel is getting first-team reps while Shedeur Sanders waits his turn. So they talk about Gabriel working with Flacco, Pickett, first teams, and Shedeur, like I said, often works with himself on a different field with the second and third.
Public opinion isn't neutral, and online momentum clearly leans Shedeur's way. That's a battle you don't win on a stat sheet alone. Reports started floating that both rookie quarterbacks were being evaluated for real opportunities this season. But here's the part that raised eyebrows. Shedeur was reportedly being brought along carefully, structured reps, controlled environments. Dillon, on the other hand, was getting thrown straight into the toughest looks against top defenders.
I don't hate you, my boy. You probably a good guy. But here's where we stop the ruckus. You're probably a great dude. You're doing your Hawaii dances, whatever it is you people do. Much love to the great Hawaiian people of Hawaii. But sometimes you guys cater to the opposing people who looks Mayo. You guys are in love with Mayo people.
Same destination, totally different roads. Now, let's be clear. There's no actual lawsuit, no paperwork stamped and filed saying embarrassed by Shedeur. But the energy felt like football's version of an HR meeting. Whispers about fairness, reps, and pressure started creeping into conversations behind the scenes. Shedeur practiced like a man who'd been waiting all offseason for this exact moment. This wasn't just about winning a job. This was about claiming space. Every throw looked intentional. Every decision felt confident. It wasn't practice energy, it was statement energy. Dillon transferred in thinking he'd be the veteran presence, the steady voice, the experienced guy, the safe option. But Shedeur wasn't here for shared reps or polite competition. He played like the system was built with him in mind. Poise, reads, confidence, and an arm that erased third and long stress instantly.
It's a very interesting situation. And again, here we go. Browns fans, we find ourselves in a situation where a player or two on the team can just completely divide the fan base. And one thing that I am getting sick and tired of already, and I'm going to bitch about this and fight people on this tooth and nail forever, it seems like. Just because I post something positive about Dillon Gabriel does not mean I hate Shedeur Sanders. And just because I post something about Shedeur does not mean I hate Dillon Gabriel. I actually believe that it's okay to support both rookie quarterbacks.
What was supposed to be a competition started looking like a takeover. Shedeur turned the field into a stage and ran it like a one-man show. No auditions, no easing in, just control from snap one. Dillon realized mid-session that he wasn't headlining the performance he thought he was. The throws weren't just clean, they were loud. Shedeur wasn't fitting balls into tight windows, he was creating new ones. Quick releases, deep shots, sharp timing, and just enough flair to let everyone know this was intentional. Nothing official will ever say it out loud. But when conversations shift toward reps, pressure, and development paths, you know what time it is.
Dillon Gabriel, you are a crybaby. Go cry in the corner. You want to storm off of the field because Shedeur, Mr. Legendary, you hear me? He beat you out to get the first team reps, you hear me? Understand, he started from 4th team reps, to 3rd team reps, to 2nd team reps. Now he 1st team reps. Yeah, you was recruiting all your little linemen and making your own little alliance. You hear me? Ain't no telling what you was telling them folks that was agreeing with the alliance with you. You hear me? But this is why the Browns organization.
Somewhere, discussions started happening with people who don't wear cleats, all because one quarterback made practice feel uncomfortable for the other. You know things are messy when people start joking that the legal team needs game film instead of a playbook. And here's the wild part. Shedeur wasn't even trying to embarrass anyone. He was just being Shedeur. Calm under pressure, deadly accurate, cool without forcing it, and somehow still camera ready even during wind sprints. No finger pointing, no trash talk, no extra noise. He just lined up and delivered touchdown after touchdown like it was a group project, and he was the only one who actually did the homework. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel looked like he was stuck staring at a frozen PowerPoint screen that just wouldn't load. To be fair, the talent is there. No one's denying that. But Browns fans know this feeling all too well. One or two players show up, and suddenly the fan base is split right down the middle again. And then something else happened that nobody could ignore. The receivers started drifting toward Shedeur naturally. One rep with him, and suddenly routes were sharper, cuts were faster, effort went way up. It was like everyone knew the ball was coming exactly where it needed to be. With Dillon, the energy felt different.
I wasn't said Dillon Gabriel was looking better at practice than Shedeur Sanders, but they straight lied. Mind you just seen how he threw the ball, bro. He put all his effort into that throw, and it was only 20 yards down the field. Now, let me show you Shedeur Sanders, bro. Somebody that's outplaying him by a mile, bro. It's not even close. Meanwhile, while Dillon Gabriel struggling, you feel me? Shedeur Sanders down the field looking like Tom Brady? You said he didn't have an arm? Like, bro, just look at the difference between him in the pocket, how poised he looks, how professional he looks. He looks like...
Roots looked slower, like a rainy day workout where everyone's just trying to get through it. No drama, just a noticeable contrast that spoke louder than any stat line. Then came the whispers. Could Dillon transfer again? Could he really sit through an entire season knowing he's not QB1, not even QB-ish, just waiting for snaps that might never come? That kind of pressure messes with anyone's confidence. But here's the real issue. It wasn't just that Shedeur outplayed him, it was how he did it. With style, with swagger, with that unbothered energy that says, I've been here before and I'm only leveling up. This wasn't a fluke. It wasn't a lucky day. It was a full clinic, and Dillon had front row seats for every snap. By the time practice wrapped, the score wasn't on a scoreboard. It was written all over the faces of the players watching Shedeur work. Even the defense walked off looking drained, like they'd just been put through something deeper than a normal practice.
In my comments telling me how Dillon Gabriel has this superb accuracy and how he has a higher QB IQ than Shedeur Sanders. Bring y'all asses back. So tell me, have y'all been watching the Cleveland Browns minicamp? And have y'all been seeing how Shedeur is out there running circles around Dillon? Have y'all been seeing it?
Dillon was in the back, quiet, probably replaying reps in his head, knowing the gap felt bigger than it did that morning. And once the internet caught wind of it, it was over. Memes everywhere. Slow motion edits of Shedeur throws flooding feeds. Reddit threads acting like this was a full-blown QB custody battle. One joke summed it all up perfectly. You can have the short routes, Dillon. The deep balls belong to Shedeur. By day 3 of camp, Shedeur Sanders wasn't just a quarterback anymore. He was a full-blown cultural moment. Practices didn't feel like practices. They felt like episodes. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel was trending too, just not for reasons anyone wants to see their name attached to. So if Shedeur is already flipping the script and turning camp into headline material just by being confident, what happens when the real games start? When the lights are brighter, when the cameras don't blink, and when the scoreboard actually counts instead of being symbolic? Let's be real for a second. Dillon Gabriel's biggest competition isn't Shedeur's stat line. It's Shedeur's momentum. You can't file paperwork against a guy who just turned training camp into a full Netflix-style rollout. He's not just QB1 energy. He's the trailer, the teaser, and the premiere all at once. Unless Dillon's team finds a rule-limiting confidence backed by arm talent, this season might turn into a long stretch of sideline clipboard duty and respectful clapping from the background. And let's address the noise. People claiming Dillon was outplaying Shedeur in practice.
Man, Shedeur Sanders has made his way to minicamp, and for some reason, I keep hearing that he's quarterback number 4. Y'all better get it together, dog, because just look at this connection, dog, and look how smooth it is, dog. Check that out, man. It's a star quarterback right there in my eyes. And I mean, there's no hate against Dillon Gabriel. I mean, just look at this. They threw it to the same wide receiver, and guess who looks better? Shedeur Sanders. Not gonna lie to you, it's no glaze, none of that. I'm just keeping it real with you, dog. They can't have these 2 quarterbacks going in with 2 veteran quarterbacks there, dog. One gonna have to go, and it ain't.
That story didn't age well, and a lot of folks noticed. And just when it seemed like Dillon had accepted becoming background scenery in the Shedeur highlight reel, things took a dramatic turn. Not a quiet reset, not a low-key PR push, no. Allegedly, he went straight to the legal playbook because apparently being outperformed wasn't just frustrating, it felt personal. Somewhere in an office, someone probably heard a sentence they never expected. Yes, I'm calling about getting outplayed in practice. And in doing so, every Fear fans were trying not to say out loud came rushing forward. The arm strength gap, the slower reads, the pocket presence that never fully settled. If stress was a measurable stat, Dillon would be elite. And that's the rough part, he was trying. You could see the effort on every rep. The focus was there, the urgency was real. But effort doesn't always equal results, and the gap kept showing. Online comments kept pushing the narrative. Dillon's more accurate. Dillon has the higher football IQ, but the film didn't back it up, and fans weren't buying it anymore. And the crowd is watching closely now. Every shaky moment from Dillon somehow turns into extra buzz for Shedeur. Even people who wanted to doubt Shedeur are running out of reasons. You can only move the goalpost so many times before everyone notices. Suddenly, the narrative flipped. The same voices that hyped Dillon as a transfer portal savior started pulling back. Now it's maybe he's just not built for this level. Funny how fast that changed. Because Shedeur didn't just outplay him, he exposed the ceiling. And Dillon's ceiling started looking like a reliable backup role with a great view of the field. The coaches aren't whispering anymore. They're locking eyes. The reporters aren't guessing. They're stacking clips. Even teammates are giving those supportive pats on the back that quietly say, "I see what's happening." And of course, the internet is having a field day. Someone even started a countdown titled "Days Until Shedeur is Officially QB1." Loud, messy, dramatic, just like the takeover itself. But let's rewind back to Shedeur for a second, because in the middle of all this chaos, he's not just playing well, he's doing it with effortless composure. No forced hype, no dramatic interviews, no slick quotes meant to trend, just quiet dominance that speaks for itself. He's that rare type of quarterback who doesn't chase attention. The attention finds him anyway.
I completely disagree with this comment. For starters, there was much more talent on the Oregon squad to lead them to undefeated. 5 people other than Dillon Gabriel were drafted this year from the Ducks. 2 tackles, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 1 receiver. Colorado had 3 other people go. All 3 Buffaloes drafted were receivers. Whose job is it to give the receivers the opportunity to catch the ball to get the stats? The quarterback. 2 of those 3 receivers wouldn't have been drafted if it weren't for Shedeur, Travis Hunter being the only exception. Shedeur Sanders was sacked 39 times this year. Now, you can blame that to him holding the ball for too long, but the O-line statistically ranked way worse than Oregon's. Realistically,
even when he's not on the field, the conversation somehow circles right back to Shedeur. He's not asking for the spotlight. He's earning it snap by snap. And let's address the excuses head on. Some people tried to downplay things by saying Dillon had less help in the past. That doesn't hold up. That Oregon roster had real talent. Multiple players drafted. Plenty of weapons. This isn't about surroundings anymore. This is about who's ready right now. Shedeur waited. He watched. He sharpened every tool in the box. And once those first-team reps landed in his hands, it was a wrap. The offense doesn't just operate with him under center. It thrives. Routes look cleaner. Timing snaps into place. Receivers suddenly move with urgency, like they trust the ball is coming exactly where it should. Even the offensive line blocks with extra purpose, like every snap actually matters. You can see it everywhere. Coaches smiling more, cameras hanging a little longer, and defensive coordinators already looking stressed. Because here's the real kicker. Shedeur isn't just making plays. He's making statements. Every dime he drops chips away at the old narrative. All that he's just someone's son talk, all the doubt, all the lazy takes. Gone. This isn't college good. This is N.F.L. scouts quietly taking notes good. The poise is there, the IQ is there, and that clutch gene.
Well. You mean to tell me the 144th pick, 5th round QB is outplaying Dillon Gabriel? Ain't nowhere in the world that's happening. It's happening. We're all witnessing and seeing it, live and direct. We're all seeing it. But we're all seeing what we knew. This don't surprise us. Dillon Gabriel, I'm not knocking his game, but he's not even... Have you seen him stand beside Shedeur? Have you? Because I have. And that's very important. Very important. You want your QBs to see over the line of scrimmage. Just letting y'all know that. To my next point. All this fanfare and hate for the Sanders family. And folks don't realize you walk right into...
the kind that makes you believe he could convert 3rd and long under any conditions. Pressure doesn't shake him. It sharpens him. And now even the loudest critics are hesitating. They wanted him to stumble. They needed him to struggle. Instead, he leveled up. Every rep, every read, every snap turned into a lesson. This stopped being a competition a while ago. Now it feels like people are pretending it still is just to delay the obvious. Like someone lost a bet and doesn't want to admit it yet. Every pass Dillon throws feels like time being bought. Every second Shedeur is on the field feels like confirmation. A billboard-sized message sent loud and clear. You don't need a coach to announce QB1. The team already knows. The fans already know, and deep down Dillon probably knows too. That's why the legal chatter ever entered the conversation. It's not about fairness. It's about delaying the cold truth. Because when Shedeur steps on the field, it's game over for whoever's in front of him, even if they showed up with lawyers.